Can we swap stuff around? He doesn't need quick reflexes anymore. It's not very strong. We never found a second. And I don't want to spend life stones on it to upgrade. It's very hard to find quick reflexes. So I think he's fine enough now. He's no longer injured, so he gets the immortal. And he gets... brilliant. Yeah, that's pretty solid on him. Right. How does Bounty Hunter work again? The people you have in your bench and in your reserve count towards the strength of bounty hunters, and also everyone you have out on missions. So I have 2 people out on missions, and I got size 15 bounty hunters. I had more people before, and this is when you get hit by 17, 18, 19 bounty hunters, which are very strong. So your reserve actually counts towards the strength of bounty hunters. There's another berserker. And that looks so sick. I love the skin. I really hope we get elite skins at some point, so we can just choose. Or yeah, I would like to be able to just choose the skin for my own. Like, imagine I would have this guy running around instead of this skin. It would be so cool. It looks so badass. Also, let's give them their flags and stuff. We should know all their strong versus by now, right? So he's versus bludgeon, he's versus ranged, low HP, armor. He is bleeding. Yeah, bleeding. So he gets the bleeding flag. Those, if you haven't seen the banners yet, you can give your people banners to differentiate them. Bleeding, bleeding. And there's a flag for every strong versus fade. So you don't have to always look it up. You just have it there. Strong versus armor also. Alright. I thought having lots of spare people is great. Yeah, I thought so too. Especially in my first playthrough. I just... You know, you don't really know what people do and you want to just check everything out. So I had like a bench of so many people. My deployment was actually covered by people. Like, I think I had 4 rows or something. Everything was covered with people. And I think a lot of others do this as well. And it's never really specified that it's a downside at some point. I don't really agree with the scaling. And I hope it gets changed at some point. Because you shouldn't be punished for having reserves. They don't trigger on their own, we learned. So get him here and pull some. And let them deal with him. We don't want him. This was an unfortunate end, I agree. Very unfortunate. I tried my best to save him, but I could not save him. Tried so hard though. You, come here. Oh, there's a gazer right here. That's interesting. Let's not get shot for free. Let's instead walk through spikes for free. That sounds much better. This pulling. I liked it better when they would just come to me. He doesn't even care. Jeez. Alright, let's walk into the village then, I suppose. I don't know. Let's take another 10 for free. 15. I think spikes are still 15, yeah. Ouch. Kind of. He only has 162 damage. Fly! Let's take a bunch of spike damage. I'm not very afraid of this fight. It's just a village fight. Come here, good sir. No more shenanigans. Here's Angel's Pact and a model. He doesn't want to hit yet though. He wants a killing though. Not actually hit people and get retaliated. Death away too. Man, I really don't like the revenge mechanic. It's very annoying. And a sniper. Where do we go? In 12? Alright. You're gone. Oh, what else do you have? Feast. Interesting. Where do you get Feast from? I think from the weapon, right? Huh. Alright, now they're triggered. Let's move then. When do we go? In 11. I kinda need to protect him then. Haha, deflected. Nah. Here? Yeah. I don't know, there's not much to say about this fight. It's pretty easy, even though I do like stupid things. Like, walk along the high ground where archers stand for like 5 turns. Slightly exaggerated. I don't need to bloodsmith here, it does bleeding. Goes in 3, sure. Bonked. Come here, good sir. It's kind of funny that brother in arms triggers from this. When I push him and then throw him next to someone and it still triggers. Alright. We still have this guy running around. Kinda have to keep in mind, but whatever. All of my people are stalwart now, so that's very nice. I don't really have to care about them too much. Yeah, the difference between villages and... Oh, he's just dead. The difference between villages and fortresses and villages and quests is pretty big. I feel like villages always feel very easy. Well, not always, but most of the time. He has preemptive, so we disable this preemptive, and then oh, we lost all our blood strength because we have useless stuff here. It was bad. Still enough. We gave them a lot of bonus damage. We have to watch out for. They don't really care. They just walk over here, spend the leads. He has a lot of bonus damage, huh? 91 only. Alright, I take it back. He might protect me here. Get him. He's murdering. He's just dead again. Every time he has murdering sends up with full stamp, someone dies. He's a beast also. Yeah. People are like developing their builds and getting to their strong points now. Also overdose on him, very nice. I might actually go full overdose. That sounded weird. I might go level 10 overdose. He's gonna add a key for tab. It's gonna be F. Oh, to toggle it. Wow, that's so nice. Yeah. Cool. Good suggestion. I wouldn't have thought about it because by now it's so natural to me. But yeah, it's very good. It's kind of funny what you can get used to, right? Like holding tab all the time is not something you really want to do. But if you do it enough, then you just get used to it. And you don't even realize it anymore. Really? Did he just die? Would you be so kind? Right. A revenge mechanic is lame, yeah. I don't like it either. We're building improviser, we're building brilliance. I'm not sure what you get here. Could be anything. Euphoria, sure. For humans, hey, 19% more damage. Level 9 improviser. He holds the brilliant mind. Level 8 brilliant mind is nice. Alright, 2 more. I think we go black market, see what we have. Don't really know what I want, but let's just see. Ambushed alchemist, we should really do that. I hate doing easy missions. You probably already know that, right? But I don't want to waste my time with them. Oh man, it's a chubby boy. I'm so tempted. I'm kind of committed to making the berserker work, but imagine a chubby boy instead of him. Man, he's so much better. He's so much better. It's not even close. Oh man. Hire him and rename him Locktrap. My phone is used to being on top of tab too. Rename him Forsaken Berserker so you don't feel bad. But this is supposed to be a Forsaken run with at least 3 Forsaken units. And people tell me that the Berserker is good at some point. I still don't see it yet. We take him for sure. And see what we can do. Blood Curse. It's only Blood Curse 1. Cannibalism? Oh, yeah. Silver Sword with Overdose. Interesting. We could give Overdose to our assassin. He is Vigorous to heal up. It's not very high level Vigorous yet, but still. He doesn't care about the damage downgrade. Also, it's rare silver, so it's not a big downgrade. Rare silver with Overdose. What are our great swords? It's legendary silver and legendary Viridium. This is not replaceable. This maybe, but Feast is very good. So, Weakening crits. Right now we have on our only helmet we have crit awareness. I like crit awareness more. Prep, blood curse, nothing really. Right, let's go with this one. Treasure Hunters ambushed. Do this one first and then go here and get the exit. Anything else we really want to do? Hidden Cave. Nah, let's go to map 3, huh? So let's do this one. Fight it up here, methinks. Can go here and save them. It's an option. Do we save villagers? Is this real life? They're very funneled here. Nah, I don't want to. We could save them here, but I really don't want to. No reason, just villagers, you know. Can probably save one. I'm sure we can save one. Let's do them. There's no villager saving in this stream. So, since the last time we switched zones, there has been an adjustment in difficulty for zones that are newly created. So, the first time you go in a zone, map 1 or map 2 or map 3 or map 4, the difficulty has been upped. So, I expect a pretty big difficulty spike when we go from 2 to 3, which is why I actually want to go there. I think I fought enough Forsaken to have a good grasp on them and stuff. I still want to find one good Forsaken fight. Where I can actually make a guide out of. Maybe we look for one before we go. It's not a difficulty, but more how David scales it by adding more enemy units, more HP, more damage. I mean, isn't that the difficulty scaling right now? More enemy units, more damage, and more HP. Sounds like more difficult to me. Enable some backstabs. Hey, strong versus armor. I really want to have Sharp Eyes in him. Sharp Eyes 10. He's strong versus armor. He always gets a crit against armor. His first hit. So with Sharp Eyes, he would stun everyone in armor, which would be very cool. It comes to a point that the fights are so long, it gets boring. Really? I'm curious, how would you say difficulty scaling goes then? Oh, he sniped me. I think he kills. Nope, doesn't kill. Oh, yes, retaliate. Just kill him. So, how would you say the difficulty would be increased outside of those factors? Outside of tuning numbers? He takes a lot of punishment, huh? Oh man, can we one-shot him? I think we can. We need 2. Not quite. I want the executioner, so we give him another. Oh my fucking god. Yes, protector. And he triggered it by 52%. And I spent 3 blood strength on it. And I got Angel's proc for it. Oh my fucking god. Oh, that feels so bad. What the fuck? Alright. I deserve this one. Not sure this is the best move, but whatever. Holy shit. That hurts. I guess he's injured, so he should have 700, 800 health. Yeah. Give him some regen, sure. Let him stand next to this kill so he gets the flexible healing. Proc the preemptive. Strong versus armor, strong versus polearms. What a combo. At least against those guys. Hey, deflected. He doesn't really do anything. He's just here to look pretty. I could have just swapped with him and flipped him in. It would have been way more efficient. But it wouldn't have been as cool. I lied. It would have been cooler. Alright. Villagers really need a buff, huh? Oh shoot. I didn't realize. We need to sell for this. We really need a sharp eyes. I think quick reflexes is out. Oh, that was an expensive one, huh? Brilliant. Plus 12%. We can also combine Stalwart already, right? It's on him, and we know he wants that. So we can just throw them together. He has a lot of HP for having a Brilliant Mind equipped. I like that. And beasts and flesh. Alright. We have 450 flesh and only 64 blood. So the question is, do we go here? Or not? I want to go here, I want to go to map 3. I also want to find a good Forsaken fight first. Barricades against Forsaken. Assassin and Hunter. What would be a good one? I think Trader or Ambush would be good. Ambush Alchemist. I think go south and get this village eventually. We can spare a few days. I don't want to do this. That's a fortress, huh? Swamper fortress? Nah. Enemy fort against Forsaken. Do I have to? This is so good to take, but I'm bored of this already. Let's just skip those two. Let's find a good fight in then a village. Try to ambush, hey. Alright. This is a good example of a very solid Forsaken fight where they're clumped up. They're like not in a fortress or anything. They just come like as a pack usually. Not really here because spikes and stuff. Also we have the beast in our back. Alright, I'm gonna take a quick break here. Just a couple of minutes and then we're gonna do this. Alright, be right back. How rude. That was probably a bit more than 2 minutes. I had to return a call real quick. Alright. Savagery redeemed, show the chat how awesome you are, hell yeah. So pretty awesome, like I wanna fight versus 6 Valder with 1 footman, like what do you call it? Awesomeness, of course. And I really like when I call myself awesome, because it's awesome. Don't look at me like that. You know what, Savagery? You're awesome. Gonna see some swapping actions. For sure. Alright. Drink something real quick. Alright. Cool. Alright. I'm gonna ignore chat for this fight. I'm gonna catch up on everything after. So don't be disappointed. I'm not ignoring you. I'm just partially ignoring you for 15 minutes. Alright, so this is a typical Forsaken fight where they started clumped up in one corner. You're here. We have some beasts from the village event, but they shouldn't change the fight much. I think one of the most important things against Forsaken is having Stalwart, and every one of my units is Stalwart or Stalwart absorbed. So here's Stalwart, here's it absorbed, here's Stalwart, here's Stalwart. So all of my 6 units are immune to being grabbed, which is very important against the X-Men. You can play around being grabbed, but it's very hard. You have to be very on point, and even if you can play around it, that most of the time it means you don't get into a perfect position, but you assume a weaker position, which is not what you want to do. And also you have to be very good. Very, very good. And I frequently mess up. So, I just think it's very mandatory to have Stalwart against them. If you get grabbed once out of position, then you probably die for it. There is the option to only have like 3 Stalwart or something on your front line and then play around that. But even then, it's very, very difficult to do so. So I think having Stalwart is the first step in countering Forsaken. Their most prominent feature is Lightfoot swapping. So they focus fire you and then they swap their backline in to also hit you. Combined with their 4 movement, it's very difficult to deal with if you don't know what you're doing. When we look at the field, the most dangerous units are those 2 berserkers here. He hits for 450 and he hits twice, so he has 900 damage behind him. More if he gets Forsaken Wrath stacks, and even more because we retaliate after the first strike, so he gets flagrant hits. So he has probably 1000 damage straight up, and he has more than 1000 damage if he gets any Forsaken Wrath stacks. He's a bit on the lower end, he rolled low damage, but he's still dangerous, so we have to keep an eye out for those 2. Generally, you want to be on the lookout for elite berserkers, they're very dangerous. And the second one are elite axemen, they still hit pretty hard. And then everything else that's elite, it's not a big deal. This thing here means they have the revenge trait, so when we kill him, a new Forsaken spawns at the edge of the map, like somewhere here or something, or down here. And he will be taunted for 5 turns onto the guy who killed him as kind of a revenge. He also has this. No, he has a banner. Okay, no. If they don't have revenge, they have a strong versus. He is strong versus polearms, and he is strong versus bludgeon. If you cannot really see it, you can also mouse over and see he is strong with his bludgeon here. The other ones are not very hard to deal with, like Defender, Shield Bearer, and there's no sniper on the field, huh? Interesting. And snipers are not that hard to deal with. Like snipers or ranged units, the usual range stuff applies. So let's do it. This is a trader ambush mission. So we have like this trader guy we have to protect. We kind of have to keep an eye out for those guys behind us. But I think our NPC friends can deal with that, mostly. I hope I can show off what I want to show off here. This is the best Forsaken fight I could find before I go to map 3, so let's hope it's good enough. So here, this is a good example. Going here might seem very harmless. Like, I could swap here and go here and hit him, right? First of all, I cannot hit him because he has preemptive strike and then I'm out of movement and sit here. Which happens to me very frequently. But second of all, I move in range of not only him, but also those two who swap in with Lightfoot, those two who swap in with Lightfoot, and also this guy who can go, swap, go, swap, hit. So I move in range of 6 units. So by standing here, he gets 6 attacks, one from the Elite Berserker, who takes half his health probably in one attack. So by going here, he at least procs angels or maybe even dies. So that's not a good idea. What we can do is go here, throw a trap here. Go here probably. I think we can grab around this. I'm not sure. Maybe not. Maybe I should have put a trap here instead. We will see in a second. So the grab is a very good method of separating them. Of pulling one way in front so the other ones cannot reach and cannot Lightfoot swap on you. Here's 4. He can stay here. If he tries to go in, we have preemptive strike and deny his last movement. That's fine. I think we cannot fuck, yeah. I should have put the trap here. That was my bad. But the grab is a very good method to separate them, as I said. And I forgot about Lightfoot, about preemptive strike again. Also, they kind of separate themselves here on this map, which is unfortunate, because it's not really what I wanted. Maybe we can group them up again. So the first thing you want to do against Forsaken is let the stalwart. The second thing you want to do is separate them like this. So you're in no danger of getting swapped on like multiple times. And also so they don't get Forsaken stacks. They're pretty weak manually, not manually, solo. Every single one of them is pretty weak except the Berserker. But in a group is where they get dangerous. And then you want to have CC, hard lockdown. It doesn't have to be hard, can also be engaging strike. Here we go, 1, 2, 3, here. Just thinking about this turn really quick. Let them move in. He goes after him, right? He has 900. He's a ranged unit. He also has the lowest HP, so he will go after him. So he goes here, 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 hit, and then he goes here, here, swap, hit, and he dies. That's fine. They will likely stand here. Maybe here. I don't know which one they prefer. I think I want to be in range of either. So I want to be in range to go here and grab him into this pit if he stands here. I also want to be in range of like here or here if he decides to go over here so I can grab him over. This is the reason for positioning here. He chooses this one. Yeah, that's what I thought at the beginning. And he dies, that's fine. This is what happens quite a lot in fights right now, where they just swap all the time and don't really get to move forward. I think that's not how it's supposed to work, and eventually it will get fixed, but for now, this is the way it is. Bonked. We want to get away from this 4 cluster, because they are interchangeable. You always have to keep in mind that choke points don't work in your favor anymore. Whereas against other factions, you can use choke points very well, especially if you have like a setup with a shield guardian or shield bearer or whatever, where you shield the unit in front, then choke points work really well in your favor, right? But those 4 units can all hit me. They can swap all around. Even he can go 4 swap hit me. So again, being here means getting hit by 5 units. You have to look at those fights very differently than other factions. You have to recognize that standing here is probably death. Whereas going here, pretty solid. I can do this. This is very dangerous, giving the Berserker more one-shot potential by... This is the revenge mechanic. So we killed one with revenge. A new unit spawned. Usually it's a sniper, sometimes it's something else. And he's taunted to pistol by 5 turns. Pistol is the Blood Knight. So he's taunted onto the killer for 5 turns. It's very dangerous to give him that much bonus damage. He has 700 damage right now. But I already know that he will go over and grab him into the pit, so I'm very confident doing this. I don't even hit him, I just get him more into position. Go swap, 2, 3, 4, grab, and he's dead. So, he is immobilized here. This is hard CC. Well, no, not particularly hard CC. Hard CC would be a stun, right? But this is like movement CC, which is very strong against them. Bear traps, the one he stepped into, is a prime example of that. So normally, by stepping here, I would open myself up to all those attacks. But because he is immobilized, I could step here, and nobody would be able to swap with him just because he is immobilized. The only problem is this Berserker who can go over and hit me. This is the only reason I don't go here. But bear traps are king against them. If you have a hunter, abuse them all the time. Every day. Go here, grab him. Can go here, can go here, can go help deal with them. I think they're fine. Like, they're stalling pretty well. I don't need them to defeat them, I just need them to stall until Forsaken are gone. I think I want to go after the Berserker here, or after him. I could just Blood Strength on him. Blood Strength is very strong, as usual. Just one-shot him. If you have cooldowns, they're not really cooldowns, but if you have additional resources in terms of focus, like Blood Strength, you want to spend them on the elite Berserkers and get them off the field. I think now it's fine to go here. Yeah. This is my CC. So this is what I mean. Usually, now there are no units here, but imagine there are more units. Usually it's a very bad idea to go here, but he has immobilizing crits. So until he takes his turn, which is unfortunately in 3 again, but until he goes, he is immobilized here, which means the swapping is prevented. This is what you really need. Either immobilizing crits, stuns, engaging strike also works. You don't need to actually prevent him from moving, it does not matter. You don't need the stamina to prevent him, you just need to apply the debuff, and as long as you have the engaging strike debuff, you cannot swap with people. So stuff like Footman or Reaper is very good for that. You can also just throw an engaging strike, a mutator on someone, anyone really, and he becomes a kind of a CC machine against them. Not by really disabling their turns or anything, but by disabling their Lightfoot swap, which is the most dangerous thing about them. Unfortunately, he goes on 3 again, so it didn't really matter here, but you get the idea. Also, I should have jumped here instead of forgetting about preemptive strike like usual. Alright, when does he go again? We need to kill him before he goes, so he has some bonus damage and he has backstabs on us right now. So we actually need to kill him. Here does not really go. I think we just go here and kill him. It's probably our best bet. Whenever you can split up the fight like this is a natural split because of the map, but whenever you can split them up, you should split them up. It's just very beneficial to you. I think he can handle this. He's in range of a couple of them, but it's fine. Your allies are a weak point in those fights, most of the time. They give them a lot of Forsaken Wrath. And they die all the time like usual. But also they mess up formations, right? And formations are very important against Forsaken. This should be very easy cleanup. Always remember that against defenders, you have to trigger the preemptive strike first, and then charge after. I always forget that. So I just say that so other people remember. You just one-shot him because he's strong versus polearms and armor. Gets 100% bonus damage against them. Hey, he did something useful. How nice of him. Again, they are all focusing on him. So I just try to disrupt them as much as possible and try to get him up here. Away from everyone. You cannot give them Forsaken Wrath. You can also notice up there, which will show in a second. Here, I also separated them, so the one does not heal the other and give them bonus damage. It's also a very good habit to have against them. Same principle. Since he's an elite, I spend 1 blood strength and I should shot him. He eats the defenders for breakfast. Again, very good. Him being immobilized here, it does not really matter right now because the fight is kind of over, but this is what you want exactly. Having choke points, having only one here, but then having the frontmost units CC'd. If you can slow them down like this, it's even better because I almost killed them. Because he's CC'd for longer, So you have more time where the backline of them cannot do anything, and you can like fight the other side or something, or you can just stall for longer. Usually stalling benefits you. I find it also kind of funny that the Lightfoot swapping is something the player did for a long time. At least I did it for a long time already. And yeah, this is what I mean, the allies mess with you. So this was my blocker for those two. And he just killed him. They're super trolly. I think I wanna just go up north. Just to kill the other guy. And he's like a beast, right? This is the guy we have to protect, so we have to be kind of careful. Get his crit back. Stun down. I should have jumped there to preserve my Aegis, but I'm a dum-dum. Alright. Oh, I'm not sure why I passed turn with him. That was not very smart. X-Men also very strong against armor. Right. Just by killing him, we gave him 100 bonus damage, which might not seem like much, but just imagine they would be standing in a cluster, and there's not one next to him, but like 3 next to him, right? Like he's standing here and there are 3 people behind him, so we just gave out 300 extra damage, just for not separating him. That's actually quite a big deal. Bonked. There's also something you don't always think about. Like you have a rough idea about how much damage they do, and suddenly that doesn't match anymore. So yeah, pretty easy fight in the end, mainly because of the map. The map helped us a lot, even with the beasts in the back. So against Forsaken, basically have Stalwart. You need Stalwart. You don't need to absorb Stalwart, but just swap it in. Just have 6 Stalwart laying around in the inventory and just swap them against them. It's usually a good idea to have Stalwart anyways, in case you need it. Like you see a fight and you need it. Then separate them as much as possible. If you can kill them without anyone nearby, that's a big plus. And then stay away from choke points unless you can CC the first unit without it being killed by allies. Then you can stay in choke points very comfortably. But you have to realize that eventually this unit will go. Like the unit you CC will take his turn and the CC will wear off. And then the other units behind them can come in. So it's a very delicate balance. And you have to keep the turn order in mind if you do that. But don't rush forward. Always respect their 4 movement plus swap. And always look at all the units behind them. Everyone in range can hit you. No matter if someone blocks them or not, everyone in range can hit you. And just ask yourself, if I move there, how many units can hit me? And if it's 5, you probably die. So don't do that. That's about it. Hey, there we go. Hey, what's up, Nick, for us? How you doing? It's been a while. Taunt too? Yeah, I forgot about Taunt. Taunt is good too. We really want Flesh Eater here. What can we get rid of? Bleeding crits? Provoke. Let's get Provoke out of here. And grab this, and we want the Sharp Eyes for sure. You also want the stalwart if you can. Let's get hastening out of here, even though it's good. And we need 44. What else can we get rid of? I like the rest. Let's skip the stalwart. And this gives us the exit. So let's go. Flesh Eater 10. Hey. And now he can absorb it in 4 battles. Perfect. And which one? Hang on. You can have athletic. He could absorb athletic, right? We were looking for a 5th one to absorb, so athletic is decent. It's 4 levels for free. That's not bad. I think we do that. And we have this sharp eyes. Wait, where's my other one? Why does he have a sharp eyes? Wait, what's going on? Why does he have this? Oh, because he has no other option, huh? Sure. You can keep it. Started working again, so not much time at hand anymore. Hey, congrats on the new job. That's pretty cool. I'm fine, how are you? Pretty good, pretty good. Have you been playing Urtuk occasionally, or have you dropped it completely then? Old job? Ah, I see. So it started again. That's fair. But it's still good. Like all the... I think job has like a really bad taste with it, right? Like people don't really enjoy jobs and working that much, but after quarantine for a while, for like 2 or 3 months, you really start appreciating it again. Like getting out of the house, actually doing things. It feels quite nice. I usually like working. I think we swap our setup around here to have regen again. But then he ends up with confused. Fuck. We shouldn't have sold hastening, huh? Ah, whatever. We don't need regen. Fast thinker. Where do we fight? Here is okay. We fight up here. Oh well. That's a berserker prisoner. Normal people? What do you mean with normal people? So, are they not moving? Or only the ones next to the mushroom moving? I'm kind of okay with that. And I do not appreciate that job as much as now. Yeah, that's true. So you don't consider yourself a normal person? That's quite interesting. Let's just get out of range of shooty guy. I do like my job almost all the time. What do you work as? Like, you don't have to answer if you don't want to, obviously, but I'm just curious if you want to share. Spend a blood strength to avoid being poisoned. Fuck. Need to do 2. That wasn't worth it, but whatever. Oh, he has strong versus ranged. I didn't need the second one. Fuck. What's your definition of normal? I don't know. Normal is an awkward word. But you said normal people, so I was just curious. I'm a coach. Hey, cool. Coach is fun. A coach of what? Hmm. I'm a coach of everything. Alright, fair enough. I could have just swapped instead, huh? Emotion related? Hey, cool. I think, hang on. Comes in. This is a very bad spot to fight on. I just want to speed the fight up. And I do some very stupid things here, but hopefully they work out anyways. Oh, he has Blood Drinker, huh? So me bleeding here isn't very beneficial. Also, he's blocking everything. Fuck. I think educating people on emotions is very underrepresented in general. Also, stuff like mental health is very underrepresented, and I think should get more attention. I'm pretty sure I can kill here. Let's do a double, just to make sure we kill. It's pushing crits. Yeah. It was very important to kill here, to not enable backstab. Good blood strength here for sure, to one-shot him. And then get a lifesteal strike. Oh fuck, he was out of stun. Well, at least he gets to keep the thing right. Go here because he has protector. Give him a man split. That was not his angels yet. Wow, 12 HP. Go here to play around this thing again. Protector. Can't really go here. There's his angels. He has 0 now, so let's get him out of here. Bonked. That monstrosity! Killed him with a single blow. He has strong versus stunned. He still has angels. He wants to be out of the fight though. I've always found it job fascinating, Nick First. Yeah. I think it's a very cool job. Also very necessary. People Government and people don't take mental health as serious as they should. Yeah, for sure. Especially because like prevention is very important, I would say. So I think if people would get assistance in, like, sometimes you cannot predict mental health problems, right? But sometimes it's very obvious when someone is in a very bad situation, like especially children or teenagers or something. When something really bad is going on, then you can usually, like, you can sometimes tell already that if they don't get assistance, they it turns into a much bigger problem down the road. So if we would take this more seriously, I think we can prevent a lot of it. And I think mental health issues can be prevented a lot more if we, like, don't only offer counseling when it's too late, but also offer counseling in, like, hard, rough situations. And it's offered, but it still has this stigma to it. So I think people only turn to, like, professional counseling when they really have to, because they are still afraid that, I don't know what they're afraid of, but you know, it has this, like, something is wrong with you stigma to it. So I don't know. I just wish it would be different, or like there would be more promotion for it. Get those two out of here. We need the flesh eater. That needs a lot of funding. Yeah, I agree. Government does not take it serious. Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. This is the exit. Stalwart for Berserker. Yeah, he wants that. Show me exit. There we go. We just go, right? We just go. That's one of the reasons I don't call my job therapy but coaching instead. Yeah, I think that's a really good thing. Um, it's a much more efficient way of like helping people, I think. Like, uh, I don't know. That's more of a vaccination versus treatment thing, right? If you're ill, you would want, like, most illnesses are easily treated when they just arise, or like even in prevention, like vaccination or something like that, but are very hard to treat once they, like, reach a later stage. And nobody in their right mind would go to the hospital when they have, like, stage 3 or 4 cancer or something like that, right? But most people only go to, like, a therapist when they have stage 3 or 4 whatever. It's like a bit of a wonky, like, metaphor, but you know what I mean, right? So I think like coaching or something, somebody who's there when it's just, like, beginning to evolve is much more uh, effective, I would say, than someone who is trying to fix things when they have gone seriously wrong. You've descended into the underground, so I think some people haven't seen this one yet. Uh, this is map 3, and it was in the game before, way before, um, when there were still 4 zones. It was then reduced to 3 zones because map 3 and map 4 were very similar in factions, where there were Necros and Valdor. But now with another faction, it was reintroduced. And this zone is inhabited by Necro Reavers. Even before it begins, none goes to a therapist before something is wrong, but a lot of my clients come to just Come to me just because they want to improve in general. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. I'm a pretty big fan of that. Elite swampers. Yeah, bless me. Alright, so the difficulty has been turned up, huh? Since I entered the last zone. Villagers and vampires, though this is where we can infect our assassin with vampirism if we can, like maybe. Hmm. This is Under Siege and Ugly Beast. Ugly Beast would be helpful for getting flesh eaters. We really want more flesh eaters, especially on him. He only has 2 absorptions, so he gets 1 more. I don't want to absorb Improviser. Maybe he just absorbs Overdose. Hmm. That's also an option. In a min-max way, he would want to absorb Flesh Eater to get like the bonus health and stuff. I'm not sure this is gonna happen though. I think we take out Mind of a Cleric. He has better options than Mind of a Cleric. And just give him Flesh Eater now, and maybe he gets to absorb it then. We'll see. He absorbs Flesh Eater in 3. So you need something new as well. That's his last absorption. To go. Hey, no problem. Goodbye, Seoji. Have a good day. Thanks for stopping by. Twice. I think I had enough Urtuk for the day. To be honest. I played for like 4.5 hours, a bit more. That's usually enough for me these days. There were days I played this game for 12 hours straight, but not anymore. I'm just thinking if I want to play something else or not.